Welcome to another live edition of the Real Estate Show. My name is Eric Willner. I am your host here, and we are live Monday through Friday on the Real Estate Show. We are live here 5 days a week, 5 p.m. in the afternoon, that's Eastern Time, and coming at you at 5 different channels. So you can find us on the AM locally here at 1470 on the AM dial, part of the Money Talk Radio Network. You can find us on the FM dial on FM 95.3, 96.9. You can find us on the apps. There's a number of free apps that you can download. All you have to do is download either the iHeartRadio app, the TuneIn app, the radio.com app, or the WWNN app, which takes you right into this radio show. If you use one of the other apps, just look for WWNN 1470 Money Talk Radio, and you'll be here. If you're there at 5, we'll be live. If you're not there at 5, you might hear something else on one of the apps. Now, fourth way is you can go straight to our website at automaticlandlord.com. That's automaticlandlord.com. Go to the top of the page, click on the Real Estate Show, and then it'll drop down. You can click on the notes and or listen live. If you're there at 5, you can listen live. If not, whenever you want, come by, drop in for your daily dose of vitamin C, vitamin real estate, and you can stay up to date with what's going on. And the fifth way, of course, is live as we stream this on our Facebook page, and that's facebook.com/The Real Estate Show, all one word. Or if you have a Facebook page, just type in, as if it was one word, The Real Estate Show, and that'll take you right to me. So we got a great show for you as we kick off the week. It is Monday Fun Day. Some people don't like Mondays, but I'm on fire. We've got a great week lined up for you. We've got a great week lined up of activities, got some surprises that we'll probably be coming in on later on in the week. So hopefully you can figure a good way of joining us each and every day. There's going to be some fun, some surprises, some fun and surprises, and we're going to be talking this week a lot about, well, what everyone else is talking about when it comes to real estate. And there's two big things. Number one is, what's the deal with the moratorium? It's on, then it was off, then it was back on. Wait a minute, let's check that out. And so it's a fun and scary time for tenants who right now have been sitting in limbo, who may or may not be able to pay your rent. If you can pay your rent, pay it. Okay, that's all I can see. Don't try to push the limits here, because you're probably pushing the limits of the patience of your landlord if it's not legitimate. If it is legitimate, well, it's time to figure out. Remember, we've given out lots of different resources. No matter where you are in the country, if you dial 211 for the tenants, dial 211, kind of like 411 or 911, but there's a number of assistance programs behind that 211 number, no matter where you are, here in Florida or anywhere else. Then the second thing we're going to talk about is are we in trouble? Is there a bubble? And we're going to talk about that, whether that's really a situation that's going on right now or why it's not. And many people are looking at this like we're on the eve of another 2008. And actually, I'll let the cat out of the bag. I'm gonna talk to you this entire week about why that's not true. And so every day on Monday when we get on the air, the first thing we want to do is sort of set our overarching theme. And now you got a little picture of what that's going to be about. We want to talk about real estate from a perspective, especially if you're thinking of investing. Is now the right time? That could be the other theme along the same lines. Is now the right time to be getting involved in real estate? And let me tell you that the answer is yes. And I want to build a good, strong case for that and explain why you should be paying attention to what's going on in real estate. Why you, if you've been ever thinking about it, if you're waiting for prices to fall dramatically, I think you're going to be disappointed. If you're not sitting with a bunch of cash ready to swoop in on a few situations that will pop up, you may find yourself a little disappointed. And I hope you're not one of, I have this pet peeve, whenever someone says, boy, if I'd only known then what I know now, I would have, could have, should have, the whole story. And I'm telling you now what you will know then that you should have known then now. So, number one, we're going to do that, and we're going to kind of lay out the foundation of why. On Tuesday, which is our tools, tips, and techniques, I'm going to start talking to you about some creative ways to be finding properties, because we all know that a property that's properly priced, that goes on to the MLS, if it doesn't have multiple buyers, it's probably gone in a very short period of time. Right now, we're trying to help some folks, and the way that we're helping them is finding and showing off-market properties. These are different properties from different sources. We're going to talk about that in our Tuesday tools, tips, and techniques. Wednesday is always our midweek report, where we go into the marketplace from a news point of view and support a lot of the things that we're talking about in this theme that we have for the week. So Wednesday is always a favorite. There's lots of interesting articles, good stuff that you might not see everywhere. Remember, we have access here to different articles in the trade publications. The average person out there isn't reading all the different things that we do here in our office or here at the Real Estate Show. We've put together a really interesting concept, a true one-stop shop for the real estate investor. And for over 20 years, over 30 years, but 22 of them right here on the air, we have been talking to investors, showing them where are the good areas to invest, what type of properties that they should invest in, how they should hold the properties, and how they should have those properties managed, whether they want to do it themselves or they want us to provide it. Because as I said, as a one-stop shop, we find the properties, we finance the properties, and we provide the management, expert management there for you to have an investment. Because, if we go back 22 years when we were sitting around the conference table about what this radio show was going to be all about, and one of the things that I thought, I said, listen, why couldn't real estate, or what if real estate were as easy to own as a CD? Just 10 times the return, right? What does a CD pay today? 0.5%, 1%. If you lock it up long enough, 2%. And just as you lock your CD up for at 2% for the next 5-10 years, interest rates start to go up. What have you done to yourself there? Whereas in real estate today, we'll find ourselves earning 10 times what a CD pays, has 10 times the tax advantages that any CD has ever had. So when you look at the income, the tax advantages, the equity buildup, which of course there's no equity buildup in a CD, you get paid interest and that's it. We talk about the appreciation. Well, you could say that a CD appreciates, but it's limited. There's no upside. There is a fixed interest rate, and so you have no upside. And yet you don't have the cash flow, you don't have the tax advantages, and there's no additional equity buildup other than the interest, which is locked up until the end of your CD term. You can't touch it. If you take it out early, what do? They take back that interest and give you back your money as a penalty for not sitting through the entire term. And if you only lock it up for 1 year, well, why bother for the point something percent? What's the point? So that was the whole idea. So what if we could make real estate as easy as owning a CD, but a whole lot more profitable? That's what we've done over the last 20 plus years here on the radio. And if you want to learn more how that can happen for you, here's our phone number. If you want to give us a call, the toll-free number to reach us is 888-595-7779. That's 888-595-7779, or you can text our smart line, and that's just text the word investor. Just type the word investor and text it to 561-861-2366. That's 561-861-2366, and we will be happy to give you the information and find out whether real estate investing might be right for you. So that was our Wednesday show. And then we'll get into the rest of the week in just a second. I got to take a quick break, hear a few words from our sponsor, but when we come back, we'll go into what we're going to talk about on Wednesday, on Friday, and then maybe we'll start jumping in a little bit on why the market isn't in a bubble. And I think that's important for you to know. And it's going to take a little bit of discipline, because I promise you, there's going to be a lot of news and media. When they lift up the ban, they're going to say, oh my God, there's going to be homeless people everywhere. There's going to be an avalanche of foreclosures, or as I've heard some people say, a foreclosure tsunami. And it's going to be the end of the world as we know it. And then reality will set in and people will realize what's going on. Anyway, it's time for our break. You're listening to The Real Estate Show. My name is Eric Willner. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back. Monday Fun Day. Everything is 5 by 5. So what's been going on out there for you? How was your Mother's Day? A happy belated Mother's Day to all of you mothers out there listening to us. We had a nice Mother's Day here. And welcome back. For those of you just joining us here on The Real Estate Show, my name is Eric Willner, and I'm your host here for the last 22 plus years, talking to real estate investors through good times and through bad times, through up markets and down markets, from recessions, the Great Recession, and even the pandemic. And as we start to open things back up and things begin to go back to normal, and we'll see that things will have changed. What seems like a really long time that we've been sort of sheltered in place, socially distancing. I mean, that wasn't even a word 2 years ago. Can you imagine asking somebody to please social distance from me? That would be kind of like breaking up in techie terms. But we have seen a lot of changes. I call the pandemic not only the great pandemic, but the great accelerator. It has moved us forward in a lot of different ways, how we do business, where we do business, the meaning and really the value of our home. And if you think about it, the market is telling you something, that real estate has been going up during the pandemic. Why? Well, there's a whole bunch of reasons, and we'll be talking about that as the week unfolds each day. Remember, we're here live Monday through Friday. For those of you just joining us here, the Real Estate Show is live at 5 days a week, and there's 5 different ways that you can listen to us. For all of those ways, just go to our website at automaticlandlord.com. Automatic Landlord is really a place where real estate investors who are looking for assistance, who are looking for management, who are looking for support for their quality income producing real estate will come. And if you're not sure if you have quality income grade or income investment grade income producing real estate, give us a call. We'll show you through a very quick 5-point audit how you can figure out, number one, where are the weak spots in what you're doing? How can you improve it if you want to do it yourself, or if you want to hear a little bit about our 5-point property management promise. And that is a very good way to invest in real estate passively. In other words, how do you be in real estate without having to do the real estate? And automaticlandlord.com. Some of that should give you just a little bit of a clue of some of the things that we're going to be talking about. But everybody is in real estate. Whether you're in real estate or on real estate, there's no escaping real estate. If you're in real estate, that's because you own the property. You have the benefits of using the property. You have the tax benefits from the property, the income or the appreciation benefits of the property. In other words, all the benefits are from the people who are in real estate. Now, there are those that are not in real estate, but on real estate, because everybody is really on real estate. You go to work in real estate, you sleep in real estate, and if you don't own it, you are the one writing the checks that the people in real estate are receiving. If you are the landlord of the office buildings, you are the one that receives the checks from the companies for whom you work and create the income so that they can pay the rent on those buildings. So everybody is on real estate. The question is, how many of you are in real estate? And this show here is all about educating, empowering more people to be in real estate, to own it. Now, most of what I talk about is really geared for investors, but everything that I talk about could benefit the homeowner in their home shopping process. And like I was saying, right now, today, if you want to get a good deal in this market, you got to do some different things, not just call up the local real estate agent and ask them what's on the MLS today. You can do that just by going to realtor.com, but that won't get you where you want to be. And that's why we offer, if you want to have a quick, no cost, no obligation conversation, give us a call, toll free, 888-595-7779. That's 888-595-7779. So we were talking about Monday is our agenda day. Everything that we're going to be talking about through the week. We talked about our Tuesdays, tools, tips, and techniques, and the things that we want to help you right now as you prepare for what's coming in the next 3 to 6 months. Then Wednesday is our midweek report, and we're going to talk about some of the reports of what you really should know right now, what's going on in the real estate market, and what we're going to point out, because sometimes it's not what's written, but what's not written in the article or what's written in between the lines of these articles that I want to point out for you. And that's why Wednesday is a don't miss day. Now, you can listen to every single one of our shows. All of them are recorded. All of them are archived on our website, automaticlandlord.com. And not only that, but you get a second shot to listen to our show on Sunday nights. It's not live. It is a rebroadcast of all of our shows back to back, starting at 9 p.m. on the very place where you're listening to us right now. So, as I said before, the housing market is on a hot streak, right? With double-digit annual returns. And we're talking about some pretty strong returns, especially in the stronger markets, but just about everywhere in the country. You hear, oh, but you should see over where I am. And I'm going to tell you that, yes, I know, because it's everywhere. And we've seen these 10% returns on an annual gains. Now, think about this. Remember how I was talking about the 5 advantages of real estate? Well, think about that. If I have a 5% or a 10% return on my real estate as a property, but I buy it with leverage, let's say I put 10% down, that means I'm getting a 10-to-1 leverage. That means I'm getting 10 times the return. So a 5% return in real estate with a 10% down payment means I'm getting 50% on the money that I invested, or in other words, the return on investment, the ROI on my personal cash invested. The bank puts up 90%, I put up 10%. 5% increase on a $5,000, on a $100,000 property would be $5,000. If I put 10%, $10,000 down, you see, it's a 50% return on my money. And that's why I say that's one of the 5 big benefits of real estate that are unmatched, and why real estate really is the ideal investment. But as you see, the double-digit gains, the bidding wars, the surging buyer demand, and by the way, the buyer demand is only going to get worse as unemployment drops, as more millennials come into the family-bearing stage, into the higher earning areas of their career. So that type of soaring housing market is prompting more and more conversation about bubble fears, right? And in some places, the economists are saying that the housing is getting overheated. But I think that if you listen to the conversation a little bit more and a little bit longer, you're going to hear them saying that the market isn't really getting hyperinflated. In fact, I heard a very interesting discussion the other day, last week, with one of the economists explaining how in real dollars, right, the housing prices haven't gotten inflated because of the underlying inflation that exists. And remember, another one of the benefits, not even in the five that I told you, is real estate is a great hedge against inflation. And with right now, interest rates are very low, artificially low. That uh, the inflation, I think, is being underreported as it is, but it's increasing. All of the debt that we have been incurring because of the pandemic, all of that is going to come to roost. Now, those are not enough, believe it or not. Rising interest rates and inflation does not take real estate off its base. Real estate is one of the most solid investments, and over time, real estate actually performs well in an environment of inflation, like many hard assets do. So I want a quote here. A Morgan Stanley strategist wrote in a note to his clients this week. We have strong conviction that we are not experiencing a bubble in the U.S. housing. So that's Morgan Stanley saying it on one hand. The rapid price rises in prices may be concerning to home shoppers. Home shoppers. However, the median selling price for a home is up $35,000 compared to a year ago. That's the median home price, which right now was about $300,000, which is the fastest pace increase since 2006, right before the debacle that happened starting in 2007 and 2008. But this isn't 2006, they go on to say. Housing inventories are low, which was not the case then. Credit remains tight, which definitely wasn't the case back then. The median selling price for a home, oh no, I'm reading the same thing over. And lenders aren't issuing risky loans. Remember those crazy, the option arm loans, the toxic loans, and all the different creative financing that's out there. You know, today you can get any loan you want as long as a Ford Model T 30-year fixed rate mortgage is kind of the message. Yeah, there are other mortgages out there, but lenders have tightened back and gotten completely less creative as a result of that. So they're not issuing risky loans at the rates like they did. In fact, they're not even issuing risky loans at this particular time. So the borrowers that are out there are much more solid than they were, which is one of the reasons why, even in a pandemic, we're experiencing the strong market that we are, because between the posturing of the eviction ban and the foreclosure moratorium and a stronger borrowing base, we've been reporting over the weeks as the number of people that took up the forbearance plans has been diminishing on its own. And so in that way, in retrospect, the government having put in those temporary holds on foreclosures actually has helped some people get back on track. I think a lot of people jumped in on the bandwagon thinking that it was another free ride like 2008 was, because everything was in complete chaos and disarray. But remember, and now, if you want to go back, listen to the last 3 weeks where I talked about the REOs, I talked about the iBuyers, I talked about all these different. Each week, I spent a whole week focusing on these different areas to show you that the underlying strength is in there. And so product risks such as mortgages with introductory periods, teaser rates, and balloon payments comprised 40% of the mortgage market between 2004 and 2006. Not the case in the last 10 years. More recently, these factors are now only 2%, from 40 to 2% of the marketplace. And that's according to more research that was then published by Morgan Stanley. So while home prices still won't keep climbing at the current pace, especially when there is that removal of that artificial support, they aren't expected to fall much either. So there's the premise of the week. You got the picture. We got a lot more information for you. We'll be live 5 days a week, 5 p.m. right here where you saw us. So this is Eric Willner, your host for the Real Estate Show, the longest running radio show in America about real estate. We'll be back here, same place, same time tomorrow. And until then, drive safe, wash those hands, and make it a great day. Bye-bye. Boom. Big Brian. Good to see you.